The threat facing almost the entire F1 grid. Power unit changes could be a big problem for drivers. Be sure to watch until the end of the video to know which driver is the most at risk. A shower of penalties is expected for the second half of the Formula One season, as power units are already becoming scarce for many drivers who are either on the verge of a penalty or have already suffered one, either from one or more parts. Not only will they be punished with a grid penalty in the case of changing the whole engine, but there are also other components that have certain limits when it comes to being replaced by a newer one. There's only one driver who, for the moment, is staying away from this. It's none other than Daniel Ricciardo. Everyone knows that it's not his best season, but at least it's the positive note to his performance this year at McLaren. He is also not at the limit of any component so far this season. It's quite the opposite for Fernando Alonso, who's already been penalised twice for making changes to his car. Carlos Sainz was also penalised for exceeding the number of engines allowed. It was at Paul Ricard where he ended up making a good comeback. The Spaniard had to change the entire engine after the problems he'd experienced the previous weekend. At first, it was thought that it would only be a part of the engine, which would lead to a 10-place penalty. But later it was confirmed that it would be the entire power unit. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen in the fight for the championship are at or past the limit when it comes to the components that can be modified each weekend. So, how many power units are permitted in an F1 season? In a nutshell, not all components carry the same penalty, nor do they have the same opportunities. In other words, it's not the same to change an entire engine as it is to change just one or several components. Each driver has up to 3 pre-sanctioned replacements of the ICE, MGUH, MGUK, and turbocharger, 2 of the energy accumulator and the energy control. The engine exhaust system is the only part that can be used 8 times. The first time an additional element is used, the driver receives a penalty of 10 grid positions. The next time an additional element's used, the penalty is 5. So who do you think will take the most penalty points? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.